Elon Musk has caused for another Disney boycott to come after his famous comments about Bob Iger, which we all saw at the conference as well.
He said, go F yourself, tell that to Bob. So we have a war of the boycotts. Disney is going to be boycotting X, and then all of these X users are going to be boycotting Disney Plus. I've seen cancel Disney Plus trending multiple times over the past month.
Some people were saying it was 23 million. It was not 23 million subscribers.
But I mean, this streaming platform was supposed to be part of replacing cable, and now each one of them costs like $20 a month. Yep. It's just not feasible. It's so out of touch that they would think that's a feasible way to do it.
It says these are some of the companies that also boycotted. It was IBM, Apple, Paramount, NBC Universal, Comcast, Warner Brothers, Discovery. It says so they were talking here about a bunch of the right-wing political influencers and accounts. I like how most of them are not even people. It's End Wokeness. Libs of TikTok.
Libs of TikTok is an actual person.
But
Zero Hedge and Elon Musk parody account.
I love the Elon Musk parody account.
Who knows who that is?
So it says it'd be great if it was actually Elon Musk running the Elon Musk parody account.
That would be
so
funny.
You could say all the stuff that he wants to say, but he can't actually say normally.
But it's funny because all of these accounts on X have more cultural sway than these big studios do.
So it says, stop giving money to people that hate you. Cancel Disney Plus and pass it on, says End Wokeness on Thursday. Numerous commenters said that they dropped Disney Plus in some cases, posting their email cancellation confirmations. Okay, I'm going to stop you right there. I'm never going to cancel Hulu. I'm sorry. I can't do it. I love Hulu too much. It's funny. I figured out why recently. More than anything, they don't get rid of anything. All the shows that I loved on Hulu like 5 years ago are all still on there for me to watch now if I want to watch
I'll
them.
just say, it's time to get our peg legs out. It's time to get our eye patches and our golden doubloons and get scurvy.
Arr.
That is the real solution to this crisis.
It says,
I'll just say that.
Cancel Hulu, cancel Disney Plus are now both breakout trends on Google. Trends as viewers apparently respond to their efforts to censor and cancel Elon Musk. Look, I don't also like this argument that they're making that these companies are subjugating free speech by pulling their advertising. It's the free market. They're allowed to do this if they want to, and I don't buy that as a free speech issue. It's not related to the government anyways.
I would say it's only a free speech issue insofar as X is the only social media platform left in the mainstream besides the stragglers like Gab and Parler and Truth Social, etc. The list goes on, that actually has some modicum of free speech for its users. That is the reason why all of these journalists, media companies, Hollywood studios hate it so much.
Yep.
That is a huge reason why they are boycotting. So that's why I would see it as a free speech issue.
End Wokeness says instead of making good content, Disney is focusing on making sure that at least 50% of all characters are LGBTQIA or non-white. Cancel Disney Plus, and then they posted the reimagined tomorrow.
I'm here. As
They're never going to live that down, are they?
Queer children, actually, and one pansexual child. And also as a leader. And that was the thing that really got me, because I have heard so much from so many of my colleagues over the course of forums and through emails and phone conversations. And I feel a responsibility to speak, not just for myself, but for them, to all of us.
I hate that type of self-congratulatory virtuousness that they always try to put upon themselves. Oh, I just felt such a calling to speak for these people. Mm-hmm. That's white savior complex.
Somehow the fact that this was pulled from a Zoom meeting makes it even worse.
I know.
They can't even make the effort to leave their houses and go to a conference room to talk all of this bullshit.
Well, that was during COVID, so
yeah.
I don't think they
this was like
at that time.
In 2020, right, that Chris Rufo put this video out, and they have never offered a real explanation for themselves, never offered a defense of the things that these people were saying. They're never going to live it down.
The other thing that I find interesting about it is, like, even if Disney was to change, it won't matter because Hollywood as a whole has changed. It's not feasible to believe that they're the only company that has these types of quotas. They all have these types of quotas. They've all embraced DEI policies for their companies as per their shareholders and investors because of stakeholder capitalism, because of investment from larger firms. But also, think if they want to win awards, right? You've got to reach this many people of this group to win an award. You've got to have employed this many people. Not just award season, California rules as far as employment hiring for actors. It's an issue that has encompassed all sides of Hollywood, not just the Disney brand. So the idea that they're going to change, and I do think it's silly for people to believe that these people are going to make any changes, these companies. One of the things I wanted to talk about last week, and we left it off the topic, was the Tom Holland quote about he only wants to make a Spider-Man 4 if it does justice to the character. And Aman Vellani saying, we just need to make people care about the characters again. One thing that these actors and these CEOs all have in common is they talk extensively in platitudes. They say things that sound great when they need to say the right thing, right? Every once in a while, they can get it right in a soundbite. That doesn't mean that that's going to translate in any way, shape, or form to how the actual content gets made. It's very easy to say we need to make people care about these characters because all of a sudden everyone's canceling Disney Plus and nobody gives a crap about anything that we're making. She's not going to be the one in charge of making you care about the characters anyways. Well, the writers are.
Iman Vellani just seems blissfully unaware that nobody cared about the character of Miss Marvel in the first place. And if they did use MCU movies to feature the characters people actually care about, then they wouldn't be in this mess.
I did see something that said that Kevin Feige put to bed the idea that Tony Stark would ever come back recently. I saw that in an article from Cosmic Book News. He's like, no, like we had our moment with that. Like there's no reason to go back on that. It would cheapen all of the work that it took to get there. That's the right idea. Sadly, you need that character to sell tickets, but it's also the right idea that you don't want to bring him back because you'll cheapen the moment. But you need these actors who actually have some type of pedigree to do that. You could bring back Captain America. I know that Chris Evans has said that he would be open to the idea if it was the right story or the right circumstances, right? And that would be great. But right now we're going with like what Robbie Starbuck had, Operation Bend the Knee, to get Disney to change their ways by everybody canceling their Disney Plus subscriptions. And I just don't see anything changing anytime soon, given that everything Disney is doing right now, like even if they were to start making changes now, you're not going to see meaningful change for, 2-3 years by the time productions are finished on some of these projects and they actually get released. They've got new board members because they're trying to keep out Nelson Peltz from the boardroom there because they just hired one board member from Sky and one board member from JP Morgan or whatever it is, or Morgan Stanley. I'm sorry, Morgan Stanley. So Morgan Stanley is one of those people that gets first dibs whenever they do one of these conference calls with investors. So they put members on the board who are already sympathetic to Disney interests because they're trying to keep out the people that want to actually make changes for this company, meaning Nelson Peltz and Ike Perlmutter. So they hired a guy from, I apologize, I don't remember their names. But the guy from Morgan Stanley and then a guy from Sky, which was the channel that Disney Channel was done through. Mm-hmm. So they've picked people that are already sympathetic to their interests so they don't have to make any changes. They're going to issue a bunch of platitudes now, just like the actors are. They're going to rah, 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 say all the things they think people want to hear. And then in 2 years, we're going to realize that the movies aren't any different, that the sequels are just as annoying, that none of it gets any better. I don't see anything changing anytime soon. And that's not even to get into like Star Wars and Kathleen Kennedy and all of the vitriol and hatred that goes on behind the scenes there because of all the disdain that so many people have for her.
Yeah,
right?
I do wish that in that interview they asked Bob Iger what he thought of the Panderverse episode.
What did he say?
They didn't ask him about it, but I think they should have.
Here's a $20 super chat from, I can't read the whole name there.
Organized Business Services. He said, hey, Mary and Brett, I heard comment, Alex Stein, body count. It's my last super chat. I did my job for Peter. It's not you guys. but I can't have the talk live for NJ Mike subs. Go to website to learn more. I left you a post. Bye. I don't know what any of that means.
I think what he might be saying is that he has it on live at the show at his work, and then that talk got a little bit spicy for being
Oh,
shown.
yeah. A lot of you guys were saying that Friday's episode got wild.
Yeah.
I didn't feel like it was that wild.
I didn't either, but I do apologize if anybody was offended at your work. I'm not trying to give your work, make your work life difficult if that was what happened.
I mean, you should probably be using headphones if you're listening to the show at work.
The Orca boss in the chat says, so they are only reading $20 super chats? No, my friend, we read $20 super chats instantly when they come in, but we will read all of them in between segments.
Yes.
So yes, they will all get read. So yeah, I want to see Disney do better, but I don't have any faith that that's going to happen right now. Other than it looks like probably that movie Migration, which I believe is a Universal movie, is probably going to do better than any of the stuff that they're doing.
It's a movie about ducks that are migrating. It's a stupid name for that movie.
I thought you said it should have been called Birds.
No, I said it should just call it Ducks.
Ducks.
Just call it Duck Family.
Yeah.
Duck Family Adventure. Why do you need to call it Migration? It's such a politicized word. Why?
Yeah.
It's just a stupid title for the movie.
Yeah.
But I mean, even that, maybe that'll do better than Wish.
I will offer one more. Oh, somebody says Brit's body count is 30. He said so. No, I said 30
not.
super chats. There had to be 30 crisis parties to reach that, to get that number from me, which you guys did not get that day. So
It's not
don't blame
free.
me. I will offer one more anecdote in relation to Disney and as to why I think they're failing. So over the weekend, I started my detox from sugar. I watched National Treasure 1 and 2. Amazing, fun, enjoyable rides that are just so much fun. I cannot emphasize enough how much I miss this type of movie making, meaning that what you're watching is essentially goofy, over the top, kind of Laura Croft with a guy and a girl, kind of Indiana Jones. But that's not what matters about it. What I said in my tweet was essentially, when you watch this movie, the first one came out in 2004, the second one came out in 2007, right? They are, at their core, a beautifully done love letter to American history wrapped around an adventure tale that anyone of any age, race, sexual orientation, doesn't matter how old you are, anyone can enjoy those movies, and Disney made those, right? 2007 was, it's not that long ago, right? 15 years is a long time, but not that long to have completely failed to learn or failed to remember exactly what you used to do that works so well, right? They made that TV show that no one watched about it. And we all know that if they were to make a National Treasure 3, which supposedly is getting done right now. Oh
no. The party's not going off.
My bad.
Thank you guys.
Thank you guys. Well, it's a calm day anyways. It's a calm day anyways. If they were to make that movie now, there's going to have to be a bunch of vitriol as to how this country was founded. It's going to focus on all of the elements of this country that they love to, which is what, slavery and Native American genocide and all of these things that they think America is about now, rather than focusing on the beautiful elements of what made the country what it was. And I watch these movies, and there's a sense of wonder. There's a sense of love. There's a sense of camaraderie between the characters, which I don't feel anymore. I felt that Diane Kruger in this movie had more chemistry with Nicolas Cage than I have seen any actor or actress have in years, right? It's just fantastic. This is something Disney did right, and it wasn't that long ago. It would not be that hard to remake a movie like that and do a similar story. Leave the politics out of it. You can talk about history without making it overtly political. I invite everyone to watch that movie. And unless you're hyper analyzing it, you're not going to see a great deal of strong political takes other than somebody who has deep respect for his ancestors and wants to clear the name of his ancestors, specifically in the second movie, because of what happens with his great-great-grandfather or whatever. And Disney could do that, but they're not going to do that because the world has changed. The internet has changed everything. We will never see, in my opinion, we will never see movies like that again, especially ones that are so unbelievably pro-America. And the reason why something like Cancel Disney Plus is trending right now isn't just all of this. It's not just Bob Iger pulling ads from X. It's an amalgamation of different things that are all coming together.
It's been building up for decades. It's been building up.
And a movie that's less than 20 years old that has that much love for the USA, the fact that the idea of that even being made today is completely ridiculous shows you why they will never find their way back to where they need to be. Mm-hmm. So, thanks for watching. Listen to full episodes of Pop Culture Crisis on Spotify.
Keep up with us on social media and make sure you subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss the show. Bye, guys.